In the quiet suburbs of New York, Olivia, a 45-year-old widow, tried to rebuild her shattered life after the sudden death of her husband, while her stepson Ethan, just 20, became her greatest source of strength, standing by her like a true son, protecting her from loneliness, handling the house bills, and always checking on her. One stormy night, she called him into her room and showed him a letter she had discovered in her late husband's study, a letter that revealed her husband had been hiding dangerous secrets involving people who still watched the family from the shadows. And though Olivia's heart trembled, Ethan promised he would protect her no matter what, trying to fill her days with comfort, even encouraging her to talk to Daniel, his college professor's friend who seemed gentle and understanding. And slowly Daniel brought laughter back into Olivia's life as they shared long talks and coffee, making her feel alive again after years of grief. But just as hope returned, the phone calls began, strange, chilling calls at midnight from a man who whispered, "You don't know the truth about your husband's death," sending waves of fear through Olivia's heart. Ethan, protective as ever, followed every clue and even noticed a black car tailing them late at night, and one rainy evening that car nearly forced them off the road before vanishing into the dark. But when Ethan finally tracked the car down and opened its glove box, what he found left him frozen in shock. A photograph of Olivia smiling between two men. One was her late husband, and the other was Daniel, the very man she had begun to trust with her broken heart, which meant Daniel wasn't just a kind stranger, but someone tied deeply to her past. And as thunder cracked above the house that night, Olivia stared at the photograph in disbelief, her heart racing, as the question tore through her soul. Was Daniel truly falling in love with her? Or had he been part of the secret surrounding her husband's mysterious death? All along, Olivia could not sleep that night as the photograph burned in her mind. The image of her late husband standing beside Daniel raised questions she had never dared to ask, and though Daniel tried to explain that he had once been a close business partner and friend of her husband, Olivia's heart wavered between trust and fear, while Ethan, protective as ever, grew suspicious and started digging into Daniel's past, searching old records, emails, and even hiring a private investigator, until one day, Ethan discovered that Daniel's company had gone bankrupt years ago after a deal with Olivia's husband collapsed, leaving behind a trail of anger and betrayal. And just as Ethan was about to warn Olivia, she found herself growing dangerously close to Daniel, his charm and warmth pulling her into late-night conversations and gentle promises of a future free from sorrow. But when the anonymous caller returned with a chilling message, "Ask Daniel where he was the night your husband died," her entire world tilted, fear flooding her veins. And though Daniel swore his innocence with tearful eyes, Ethan caught him secretly burning old documents in his car, confirming that he was hiding something far bigger than he admitted. And on a cold evening, as Olivia prepared to confront Daniel, Ethan burst into the room holding a file he had uncovered from the investigator. A file revealing that Daniel had been with her husband just hours before his mysterious death, leaving Olivia frozen in terror as the man she thought was her new hope might actually have been the shadow tied to the greatest tragedy of her life. The storm outside roared as Olivia stared at the file in Ethan's trembling hands, her heart pounding so loud she could barely breathe. And when Daniel stepped through the door, soaked from the rain, she demanded the truth, her voice breaking as she cried, "Were you there the night my husband died?" To which Daniel, shaken, finally admitted he had met her husband hours before the accident, confessing that he went to demand repayment of a debt and an argument had broken out, but swore that he left before anything happened. Olivia's world cracked apart as Ethan shouted, refusing to believe a word. But just as tension boiled, the phone rang again. The same deep voice whispered, "You're blaming the wrong man. Look deeper into your husband's empire." And at that moment, headlights flashed through the window, the black car screeching to a halt outside, and a masked man stormed into the house with a gun, revealing himself as one of her late husband's former partners who had been secretly monitoring her family all along. Enraged that her husband had double-crossed him years ago, chaos erupted. Ethan tackled the intruder. Daniel fought to protect Olivia, and in the struggle the mask was ripped away, exposing the man who had been haunting them with calls. Someone Olivia recognized from old photographs, a business associate her husband had always warned her never to trust. The police arrived just in time to arrest him, but as the sirens faded, Olivia stood in shock, realizing her husband's death was not an accident, nor Daniel's doing, but the result of dark secrets buried in her husband's past. And as dawn broke, she faced the bitter truth that love and betrayal had been tangled together all along, while Daniel held her hand, whispering, "You're safe now," leaving Olivia torn between giving her heart a second chance or forever fearing the shadows of the past that refused to let her go. Weeks passed after the masked man's arrest, but Olivia's heart remained restless, haunted by unanswered questions, and though Daniel stayed by her side, helping her rebuild her broken spirit, Ethan could not shake the feeling that something still didn't add up. One evening, while sorting through his father's old office, Ethan discovered a hidden safe behind a bookshelf. Inside were files, coded letters, and photographs that revealed a shocking truth. Olivia's late husband had been running secret deals not only with dangerous business partners, but also with government officials, and one of the documents showed Daniel's signature, proving he had been tied to these deals from the very beginning, not just as a friend, but as a silent partner. Ethan rushed to Olivia, but before he could show her the evidence, Daniel appeared at the door, holding flowers and a gentle smile, and as Olivia welcomed him inside, Ethan's eyes burned with fear, knowing the man his stepmother was slowly falling in love with might have been part of the dark empire that caused his father's death, and the story closed with Olivia standing between the two men she trusted most, her loyal stepson and the man who claimed to love her, forced to decide whether to follow her heart with Daniel or to finally face the terrifying truth that love itself might be her greatest danger.